Well, welcome, Michelle Mascarello. How
Thank you.
are you?
It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited. I know we spoke previous about your journey a little, and I thought I really want our listeners to be able to hear all about you. And I know you've had an interesting journey, and
Mm.
I think one of the reasons I really wanted to chat with you is because I think so many people have had a journey similar to yours, and they'll look up to somebody like you and think, well, what is she doing? But there's so many years behind the scenes that people forget there's all those little steps. And, for you, listening to your story and the background of where it started, I want you to tell our listeners all about it. You've been in business 10 years, but I think more than anything, I love the part of where you started and the passion you had for skin was a long time ago. But I'd like to hand over to you because I think you telling your story is the best for our listeners. So let's talk about Michelle.
I don't know where to start.
Mm,
So I finished school. I didn't really know what to do. And I remember sitting down with my dad one day and saying, okay, so what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And I kind of went, I like working with people. I like helping people. I like
yeah.
fixing things, right? Whether it have been psychology or, healing or whatever it may be. And he said,
Mm,
what about beauty? And I just enrolled and I went to beauty college. So you could sort of say I fell into it. I wasn't really a girly girl at school, wasn't really
okay.
good with makeup or skincare. And it was my first job working at a spa that I really found my passion for skin.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know how long you've been in the industry, Marie, but back then it was all services. So it was nails, it was waxing, it was
Mm,
body massage, it was facials, it was everything beauty. It wasn't just segregated into different sectors.
yeah.
And it was then that working solo on skin, but touching on other things that I was like, okay, nah, definitely skin is my thing. It's my forte.
Mm, yes.
Um, so that's where I developed my love and my passion for helping people and coming across skin conditions. And I kind of felt like I just wanted to keep working when I finished work. So I set my own little salon up in the back of my parents' house. So in their
That's what I loved. I loved hearing this part. I just thought
yes.
this just happens so many times
Oh,
in life. I hear kids being brought up in a hairdressing salon, and you
yeah,
see them now and they've got their own clinics and salons.
yeah,
So it's really
sure.
interesting. So tell us about this. This is a really interesting part of working with your parents
Yeah.
in the office and really thinking about where this career hit off from here, really.
Yeah.
Mm,
So it's more so started with friends, family, and then it grew just through word of mouth. So I would be doing like a 38, 40 hour week, and I would sometimes finish at 11 o'clock at night with clients just because I just loved coming home and doing my own clientele and talking and it was more relaxed. It was more of a like casual environment. And that's when I kind of knew, okay, I love doing things and making my own decisions and trialing different things. And that's where that kind of grew for me.
mhm.
Um, and I thought, oh, I want to go into business, but I'm just too scared. I'm just too scared about the finances and then all the back end stuff, like the money side of things, the budgeting. I wasn't really good at that kind of stuff, but I knew that I had the support of my parents because my dad was
Mm.
in business. So that's where I kind of got that drive from.
Yes, yeah.
And I'd had a couple of jobs after that, but I'd always maintained working in the back. And then I ended up meeting my husband. We got married, and I remember we jumped online on Gumtree because we were looking for a granny flat to live in,
Oh yeah.
and a shop came up. A
Oh,
shop fit, like a shop came up, and I always said to my husband, if a shop comes up in Croydon, I have to take it. Like I have to
mm,
take it.
yeah.
And I took it. So
Well
we didn't take the
done.
granny flat, but we took the salon.
Why not? You don't need
And
to live
it all
anywhere.
started from yes. So it all started from there. And that was
Mm,
the first salon that I opened up.
Wow. And
And
that I know for you when we were chatting, like this is it's been you're so passionate about it, but the journey started there because it was more around working with, your parents and doing that part-time from beauty, like doing full-time beauty, setting up a new business from your parents' office. But it was this where you had to step up as an owner, taking on that lease, wasn't it? And I think from memory you were pregnant.
yeah, I wasn't pregnant yet. So
No?
this was the first shop. So um I moved into the first clinic. I had been trying. So my husband and I found it really difficult to have my conceive my first. And I'm sure, I'm very open with these things. And I think the more that we talk about these things as women, the more we can have the conversations. And I think we can all kind of go, okay, so many people are in the same situation as me. So we
Oh
went
yeah.
through IVF journey, and that was hard juggling business and running things by myself, working 12-hour days as well as taking
Yeah.
on, doing the IVF side of things as well.
Yes.
Um, I don't think I told you, but the day that they had to, it probably doesn't make sense, but the day that they had to take my follicles, which was a surgery, my shop flooded.
Oh,
So I was at the hospital, my shop flooded. I went straight from the hospital to the shop. My dad, my husband, and I were there cleaning everything up. And I went, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I've grown out of it. I just need to, I can't have this problem. It was a really old building. So I knew I needed to get out. So I put IVF on hold and I started looking for other shops, and I negotiated with shops around the area. And then it was the day that I found the clinic that we're in now. That was the day that I found out I was pregnant.
pregnant, right.
But the day that I
Okay.
had to sign the lease to this shop, an hour before, I did a pregnancy test and I found out I was pregnant. And I thought, you know
Well,
what? Let's just do it all. It's
yeah,
just meant to be.
definitely. And I
Yeah.
think and you like you said, like how long have I been in the industry? Lucky Chapman's not on here
Yeah.
because Jay would say Marie's been in the industry for 500 years, but over 30 years and having a
Yeah.
business for like more than 20. And I think the thing that happens is what happened with you is it was traditional beauty. There was so much traditional beauty, even probably when you took the keys to that space, and you've led your business further into like skin and being uh, a platinum award with in-skin cosmetics. And I think how amazing is that to think that you can go from traditional beauty, and I know you still do it,
Yeah.
but going into more of a, high-end skin.
Yeah, for
It'd be
sure.
interesting to know how you've done that and how like you've navigated that as well.
It took a really long time to let
Yeah.
go of those old services because I had clients for so long and I was still,
Mm,
the pedicures, the manicures,
mm,
it was lash perming back then. It wasn't even lash lifting, body massage.
mm.
I I felt like I had to break up with these clients.
Yeah,
It
you
like
would.
it was literally like I was sitting down with them and saying, I'm really sorry, but I can't offer this service anymore because it was
Yeah.
just too much, too many outgoings for polishes and then having to change the bed over for
Mm,
massage and body scrubs, and
yeah.
it just got too messy. So I remember it so clearly having to break up with some of those clients and finding them new clinics to go to for those services, but yet they've still remained with me for skin. So
Oh, wow. Oh, that was
yeah,
my next question. I thought, I wonder how they reacted because, yeah, it's a big
yeah,
thing, I think, with salons that have been around for a long time and they're wanting to move those services on, but they're scared they're going to lose that client. And it's not
yeah,
often the case, is it?
100%. I remember
Mm.
there was a client I kept doing for another year after I'd broken up with everybody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm,
I just couldn't do
mm,
it because I've been in the industry now 19 years. So
mm.
I had some of them for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I had to let go, and I just had to kind of reevaluate where the business was heading because I feel like it's
Yes.
the little things that hold you back sometimes.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, best thing I did really.
For sure, absolutely. And when you think about things that you've had to like overcome over that time, I mean, you've gone from, working for someone to having a business and over 19 years going from some traditional beauty to skin to platinum award. But there's so many parts of the business. And I know when we spoke, you spoke about you can't do everything. And I
Yeah.
think we're really big as salon owners that we're a little bit control freaky and we all have that in. So how did you manage to grow? I'm sure you've obviously grown a team because you've been able
Yes.
to get to different levels. So what have you done there? Maybe systemizing, in bringing team on. And what have you done?
That for me, I think was the most difficult part,
Mm,
or most difficult lesson for me to learn because being the control freak that we are,
yes.
I knew I was handling the services, I was handling the bookings, I was handling the running of the business. So
Mm,
I had everything in place because I just did everything myself. But
yeah.
then having to put systems in place, that was really hard for me, like having
Mm.
to delegate someone to take care of orders. To be honest, I still do the orders. I tried. I still do the orders. It's just I can open up a cupboard and I do an order within 5 minutes and it's done. Do you know what I mean? It's just too
Well,
easy.
yeah, there's some things in life you just keep. I've never let go of my ironing. I love my ironing. There's
Yeah.
things in life that you think, why do you do it? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. If you enjoy
Um,
that, it's things you brings you joy. So that's
yeah,
okay.
for sure. So look, it took me a long time, but having found the right staff members
Mm,
and having the experience that they had from previous clinics and just kind of working together as a team to
mm,
create protocol sheets and them really being helpful and saying, listen, please come to me, like come to me if you need help, don't do everything by yourself. And I found letting go and giving everyone certain jobs
mhm.
really has really helped manage the salon and run it a lot more efficiently for sure.
Mm.
But I should point out, it took me a really long time to hire because I
Okay.
think a lot of people have this misconception about, oh, work for yourself. It's easier. At least no
Mm.
one lets you down. But I think that held me back a lot from hiring
Yes.
people. I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing is when you hire, you find the right staff.
Mhm.
And I couldn't run my business without my girls. They are
No,
incredible. And I think they're the best decisions I've ever made in business, if I'm really honest with
100%.
you.
Yeah.
Um, and
Can,
they've brought so much value and efficiency to the business, and they've made things a lot easier for me because I couldn't have kept going the way that I was going, running everything by myself. So
yeah.
definitely letting go is a big thing for me.
Yeah, definitely. And thinking,
Yeah.
if we just go back a little bit and think about the delegation, because that is one of probably the hardest things most salon owners struggle with is
Yeah.
delegating things across. And having an amazing team as well is great. But when you delegate those things across, did you ever find that you would do the, oh, like she's not doing it right moment? And then what would happen is you
For
didn't want to let go
sure.
of it. And then, like, there was a bit of pushback and pullback because you didn't want to let go. And then you thought, well, you know what? She mightn't do it at 100%, but she's doing it at 90 and it's getting done. Well, did that go through your mind?
It's like giving your husband chores around the house. It's not going to be done 100%. You know what I mean? But at least you don't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They might hang the washing
But
up the wrong way, but that's okay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love coat hangers. My husband uses pegs for shirts, and I'm like, okay, if that's his thing, that's his thing. That's cool. But I think you all kind of find your way, and you all kind of find your groove.
Mm,
And I'm very big on doing things precise. And the girls will, yeah, advocate for that.
mm,
I will keep telling them until they
yeah,
know that it's done the right way. So look, there are some things that I can let go, but then there are certain things where I'm like, this needs to get done the
yeah.
way this has always been done. So And that's what it's like across everything. So I think when you have, a benchmark, you need
Yes.
to stick to that. Like,
Yeah.
keep going, keep talking, having regular meetings, checking in with each other and making sure
Mhm.
everything's done. And of course, things, get left aside or you forget or,
Yeah.
but then having that moment where we all come together again and writing notes down and talking through things and saying, okay, so we haven't been doing this as much, let's start doing this. And we'll keep changing our protocols. So
Mm.
we'll keep changing and implementing different things and different strategies and different things just to make sure that the everyday work it's working properly,
Yeah, it's so good. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with having standards. It's like some people, and a salon owner, they're always working on getting their client journey like absolutely nailed. But if you have that as your priority when you employ someone and induct them into your business and take them on that journey, that these are the expectations, then they're not going to drop that. And I think that there's nothing wrong with having that expectation. Every salon owner should have that expectation.
I'm very annoying when people start working with me in a sense that I do hover over my girls a little bit at the beginning and I do make sure that I tell them this and I just say, look, this is a business that I've created from nothing. And, in the end, if I'm watching over you and I'm guiding you and it's not criticism, it's
Mm.
constructive,
Yeah.
we all learn, we all grow.
Mm.
There are girls
That's
that have
right.
come and started working with me and taught me things.
Mm.
So I think, and honestly, the level of expertise and knowledge and education that my girls have had since they've started, they're incredible, incredible therapists and
Yeah.
clinicians
It's nice.
because we all maintain that level of
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah. And I think you know what, you can tell you have care for your team. It's actually lovely when you care for your team because they'll always be connected to you forever, even past
Yeah.
when Michelle doesn't have a salon anymore, that will happen at one stage in your life. I'd love to dig a little bit deeper on one particular area because I know you're really passionate about this, and I thought, wow, salon owners need to hear this, is when we spoke about growing to, being skin and having, less of that maintenance beauty and growing up to
Yeah.
that next level. There was things that you have in place that are absolutely non-negotiables. And we call them enhancements or add-ons as such, the upgrades that you have in your business. Let's talk about that because that blew me away.
So, Marie, I remember talking to you and you used the word like upsell and
Mm,
add-ons, and I went,
mm,
"Ooh, the girls I don't think have ever heard me say those words because
yeah.
think when people come into a clinic and they've got, they want to go on a skin journey with us, and we've
Yes.
got things like peels, laser, skin needling, LED. We can do double strength peels. We've got so many options. I think I use the word expectation.
You did?
It's expected for us as therapists to look at someone's skin and diagnose someone's skin and treat them and recommend the best possible treatment for them, whether it
Mm,
be a peel with an LED, a laser genesis with an LED, and an add-on mask.
mm,
Looking at, being able to diagnose their skin conditions, going, oh, that mask would be really good with that treatment, but they need an LED because that's just going to elevate the results even more.
yeah, that's
That's
right.
how we think. And
Mm,
we even think like that. Even if someone's booking in for a one-off treatment, they just say, I just want to relax. If we see that there's an underlying skin condition there, we'll do that beautiful enzyme facial, but then we'll include, an LED treatment because that's just going to heighten their results. So
mm,
I want to make sure that when people walk out, they're getting that best possible treatment every single time. So
mm.
for me to call it an add-on, it's like I can't really call it an add-on because it should be expected because I want them to walk out
Mm.
with the best possible treatment for their
Yeah.
skin. glowing,
It's a
hydration,
not,
all of
yeah, I
that.
think one of the words you used, it was a non-negotiable,
Yeah,
as in it's the care of what we look after the client. So
for
the
sure.
non-negotiable is we care and we want to look after you
Yeah,
on this skin journey that you
yeah,
have as a client.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so nice, lovely. Yeah. So tell me about maybe around your team. What keeps them connected? Like, what do you do? Do you have fun? Do you have
Oh,
meetings? Do
we
you have
eat a
what do you
lot.
do?
We love eating. We went to Melbourne on the weekend.
Yeah.
So we had one of my girls got married on the weekend, and we spent the next couple of days together just eating all day.
Okay.
Um, yeah, food is a very big thing
Yes.
outside of beauty that we're very passionate about. So we're always
That's
bringing
good.
in different treats, ordering things, bringing things in for
Hmm.
the girls. It's really sweet, actually. I try and do a couple of dinners a year as well, just to connect. But we always find ourselves staying back later than we should, just chatting and catching up and stuff. So we have a really, really good work environment
So
where
good.
we know when we're busy, we have to knuckle down. But when we've got that free time and we're doing a couple of things at once, we're always laughing and talking and playing pranks on each other. It's very fun.
That's good. And what about like when you bring team on, do you
Yeah.
explain to them like there's a meeting flow that we have, like team meetings, one-on-one meetings?
Yeah.
Do we have
Yeah.
retreats? Like what do you do there?
So I really suck at this part. I'm going to be honest with you. The
That's
team
okay.
meeting
Honesty's
thing,
best.
I'm horrible with. It's actually my manager who sat me down and said, "You and I are having a sit down." And I said, "Oh, okay." And she got her laptop, and this is Alicia. We call her Tink because she's a little firecracker. She's very cute. And she had all these dot points. And I said, "Oh gosh, how long are we going to be here for?" She said, we need to have a chat. We need to check in. And I've got a list of things that we
Uh,
need to do. And, one of them was we need to start having monthly meetings, even
great.
daily, 15 minutes a day, checking in with each other, looking at our day, and kind of going, okay, how can we kind of amplify these results with this client, or what can we do with this client? So
Yes,
it's great because we all bounce off each other really well too, and give each other our opinion on people's skin. And, oh, have
it's
you
great.
tried this? Why don't you try doing this? And I think that's how we all connect really well too. But it's definitely my manager who's implemented these things. I'm a worker. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
there and
Well, as
I'm
long
just
as
a
someone's
client.
there, if someone's
Someone's
there to
there
keep,
doing all the
yeah,
running, the team things and stuff
a-
like that.
and keeping you accountable as well. You need that someone
100%.
beside you, don't you? Yeah. And if
Sure.
you sound like the type of business owner and boss for them to look up to. Sounds quite friendly environment within what you have as well, but they
Yeah.
know what's right and what's wrong with you. And I think that's
For
the good
sure.
thing. Mm,
100%. And I think a lot of the thing with me is if there's something that, is not bothering me, but if there's
mm,
something that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pull that up, pull up one of the girls and just have a quick chat with her. I'll go and do that. I won't formally go and book in a meeting. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, I do.
I would rather be a little bit more casual with certain things and just say, you know what, oh, this and this, maybe isn't working. Why don't you try doing this? Or,
Mm,
and I feel like it's more of not sitting down and talking. They kind of don't get as intimidated and it's a little bit more kind of casual. Obviously, if it was a little bit more of a serious issue, there would be a meeting involved, but I've never really had a problem,
yeah, it's
with the
so good.
girls,
It's
which
so
is so
good.
good.
Yeah, definitely.
And they know that they can come to me as well at any point. So, but in terms of like the meetings, like with all of us, it's
Hmm.
definitely something that I found when I implemented monthly, we worked better as a team for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And thinking back to what we spoke about a little bit earlier around you being an award winner, and I think there's
Mm.
so many different companies have different levels of awards and things like that. But being at a platinum level, one of the things that I'd love to know is what do you expect or implement with clients and your team around consultation and the process of ending the sale? Because I think confidence tends to be the biggest challenge with a lot of therapists. any team that work in a business, like you can pick a product up and say, this is such and such, but closing the sale can be their hardest challenge or their biggest challenge because they often say, I'm not in sales. So what have you implemented to get that to really, really nail within your business? Because you don't sell a lot of retail
Yeah.
to clients if you don't have a good system. So what is it? I'd love you to share.
I think I told you this earlier. I do a lot of my business with my heart,
You
and
do.
I do. And knowing that I've got the tools and the products and the skincare to assist people with their skin at
Mm-hmm.
home,
Yes.
it comes so easily to recommend things to people when I believe in something, you know.
Yeah.
There are a couple of products on my shelf that sit there because I don't really like believe in it, you
Yeah.
know, and I don't sell it unless I know it's going to work for one particular person.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what's important is doing a really thorough skin consultation to begin with
Mm-hmm.
and being really realistic with our clients. So we block out 50 minutes with a client. We'll do a skin scanner with them. We'll plan a skin journey with them. But most importantly, the first thing that we do is go through home care, because I always say it's like running a marathon. You have to train every day for it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't come in once every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks for a
Mm-hmm.
treatment without, you know,
Getting res
getting the result. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to do the work at home. Now, in order to make it easier for them, we have our own
Mm-hmm.
booklets printed out with AM, PM,
Yeah.
weekly
Good.
treatments, and their professional treatments, that their facial treatments that they're coming in for. And we write everything down. How often they have to cleanse, how
Beautiful.
often they have to use their serums, when to use their eye cream, when to use their exfoliant. We kind of take the thinking out of it because
Beautiful.
I know people are really busy. They don't have
Mm.
time to think about the 10 products that they've just bought, you know. Um, Another thing is I'm also very realistic with my clients about, you know, what type of personality they are as well. If there's
Yes.
someone who is like, Michelle, I'm not going to use that, no problem. Let's
Mm.
start with this.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like pushing people. I think in order to gain people's trust, you don't want to be forceful with products, even though you believe that they're going to get the best result with those 5 products. You know, there are some people that get overwhelmed and go, this is just too much. I'm not going to do it. And I say to people, I don't want to waste your money. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather you start off with a cleanser and a moisturizer, and then we'll build up to it.
Well,
It-
honesty is the best policy, isn't it? And the
oh,
thing is, if
I
they're honest
agree.
with you, you can be honest with them, and then
Yeah,
you can have that staggered approach where you can grow on that. And it can be overwhelming if you've started on one product and now you're going to give them
yeah,
10. Like, yeah.
yeah,
So
for
it's like, how am I
sure.
going to fit that in?
A hundred
Uh,
percent.
yeah.
And then, you know, another thing, if they've got decent products at home already,
Mm.
I kind of go, okay, look, that is maybe a product that's not good for your skin at all, but keep using this, and this, and we can implement this. I don't like
Yes.
wastage. I don't like people throwing things out when they've spent so much money on products either. So we even use that in a way that, you know, we understand people don't have a lot of money at the moment to throw around. It's something that we have to respect. And if they're decent products, we just implement a couple of things that will
Mm-hmm.
assist in their skincare routine, like
Yeah.
non-negotiable skincare products. And then we say, when you run out of that, we'll introduce something from our range, you know,
Mm.
because it is non-negotiable for us to have our clients who are doing skin treatments on skincare.
Yeah.
We have
And
to know what they're using, that
yes.
they're using the right ingredients, that it's tailored to their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think when you said ending the sale, I think we write everything down. We show them the products. We say, if you want to start off on a couple of things, we can do that. And then we give them the opportunity to decide for themselves. Even if they said, you know, let me go home and think about it, absolutely no problem at all. Feel free to give
Mm.
us a call. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than going somewhere and feeling like you're just being sold to and there's no care factor And it's just like, oh, fine, okay, like just go. You know,
Yeah.
that
And
disappointment, you see it in their face when no one purchases something.
yeah,
And the girls know, and they're exactly the same when it comes to recommending that if they don't buy anything, that's no problem at all. As long as they go home with the information and the knowledge and they can call us up and they can ask the questions, we're here.
yeah. Well,
It's really
sometimes the thing
important.
is, it's like everything in life, not even just being in a, a skin clinic or a salon. It's actually about today might not be the right day. It might be that their birthday's in a couple of weeks. It
Yeah.
might be, they've got massive bills at the moment and they'll connect later to it. The information you give them today, they'll always remember it. They'll
For sure.
always take that.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said is the care factor is way above anything else. Like if you
Yeah,
go
I
above
agree.
and beyond, clients will always come back to you and remember you
Yeah.
because they know you care.
For sure.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
know that we're here and that we want to help them. It's
Mm,
not just about a sale. And that's when I said, like, when I do business with my heart, all my girls are exactly the same.
mm,
Exactly the same. You know, they've worked with budgets and, targets and all of these types of things, which is fantastic in a business.
yeah,
It's just I kind of do things a little bit different. And
yes,
I know that it works for us because they've then come up to me and said, I can't believe how many products I've sold. Like, I've
yeah,
never done this before. And it's because they believe in the product. It's because
yeah,
they're seeing people's skin improve and it's all working and it's all coming together rather than just
mm.
thinking about the dollar factor.
Yeah, so true, so true. And I think for you as a business owner, a mum of three children now.
Or one 3-year-old.
Oh, one 3-year-old. So I wasn't sure if you had three or one
No,
3-year-old.
that's okay.
One 3-year-old,
Yeah.
and it's Daniel, your partner.
He's my partner. Yeah.
So life must be pretty busy. A team of how many?
There's 5 of us.
Yes. And thinking about how you balance all of that, what would be maybe a couple of words if you think someone's going to be listening to this and how do you juggle all of that? A lot of people struggle to be a mum and a housewife and a partner and run everything and keep everything smooth and make it work. What's your key ingredient to that?
We don't have one.
Interesting. Interesting.
But I think, like a lot of mums say to me, you just make it work. And I think it's really important. We're very lucky that we have the support of our parents.
Hmm.
My husband also runs a business. So between the both of us, there are things that pop up last minute, and one of us takes priority over the other. So it's just about knowing, you know, not what's more important at the time, but we have to be honest with ourselves. Okay, you take Julian, I need to go. This is priority. I have to do
Yeah.
it. And you'll go, yeah, cool, I can work around that. Um, so that, yeah, look, the juggle is real, but I think we've made it work.
Yeah, yeah.
Just made it work. I
Sounds
think,
it sounds like a bit of prioritization comes into
yeah.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of
Plus, we both
prioritization.
work locally, which is really good.
Mhm.
But I'm very lucky. Like, I've brought Julian with me a few times. I actually had my son Julian during COVID, and
Yes, that's right.
we opened up. He was 2 months, and he'd come
Mhm.
to work with me. I had to go back to work because I had signed the lease to the new shop. So that was getting built, and I was in the old shop.
Mm.
So he would just come to work with me. So he's pretty good that way. He comes in, he cleans up and vacuums and mops and does all these
Mm.
things. But I think the word balance,
It's not really a word, is it?
it's not really a word. It's not really a
No.
word. There are some things that have to give,
Mm.
and some things that take sacrifice. My parents have just gone away. They went away for 3 months, and my
Mhm.
in-laws. I had to sacrifice doing exercise 3, 4 times a week. I couldn't do it as much. Something had to
Mm.
give. I had to, take care of my son, and my manager had gone at work as well. So she had taken a 10-week break. So I think just trying to be, if you can just stay above the surface for each individual thing that you've got going on in your life, you're doing well.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's a big prioritization for you, because if you stop one thing to make this work, and it's balancing it all out, balance doesn't come into it for you. It's more about this is the priority at the moment. We
Yeah.
need to make sure that that works. So yeah,
Sure. It's just
really.
adapting to change, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
adaptable is a very good word.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great conversation, and thank you for sharing it with our listeners.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed the time we've spent together. So, look forward to seeing you in the future and your future growth of the business. You're absolutely nailing things, and I can't wait to see your growth and success in the future.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Been great.